Any significant awareness has been made in France, particularly in French government, parliamentarian, in academia, in media, about the Pakistani narrative on Jammu and Kashmir.
The media has been quite critical of the policies of the Modi government. This goes beyond Kashmir. They talk a lot about and have been very critical of the human rights situation in India, the persecution of minorities, Muslims.
But there have been significant achievements that impacted positively on bilateral relations between Pakistan and France.
We have this commonality in terms of pursuing positions which are independent and very much attached to our strategic autonomy. So that brings France and Pakistan together.
Any interest shown by French companies, French business persons to make investment in Pakistan?
France is an important trading partner of Pakistan. For the first time, we crossed, in terms of bilateral trade, the figure of $2 billion.
Where is, at this moment, this defense cooperation? Is it still intact, going on?
Defense cooperation historically has been an important component of our bilateral relationship.
The year is closing 2024 with so many memories, with so many events. In terms of Pakistan-France relations, where do you see these relations in the year 2025?
Pakistan-France relationship is on a good track, and we will be able to further solidify and take it forward.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to program Insight in V News English. Dear viewers, when we talk of Pakistan's relation with European Union, France is one of the country with whom Pakistan enjoy very close and very friendly relation. So between Pakistan and France, there is strong political relationship. That means political relations, economic relations, trade relations. These all ties between Pakistan and France. France is also a permanent member of UN Security Council. From that context, this relationship is of extraordinary. So over the last many years, we have seen improvement in bilateral relations between Pakistan and France. When we talk of Pakistan-France bilateral relationship, the significant role has been played by our current ambassador to France, Ambassador Asim Iftikhar, who over the last 2.5 years played vital, important role in further strengthening bilateral relations. So after completion of his tenure in Paris, Asim Iftikhar Saab is leading and leaving to New York, where he will be taking up his next assignment as additional permanent representative to the United Nations. With the UN, he has a long attachment. Previously, he has served as Pakistan's deputy permanent representative to the United Nations from March 2025, the year which is extraordinarily important for Pakistan, because Pakistan will be part of United Nations Security Council for 1 year. So that will be a challenging time for Ambassador Asim Iftikhar Ahmed Saab, and we wish him best of luck. But right now, we will talk to him regarding Pakistan-France relation. First, Asim Iftikhar sir, very warm welcome to Program Insight.
Thank you very much, Mateen Haider sir. Assalamu alaikum.
So first, would you like to first update that since assuming this particular position, and now this is after a few days, you will be winding up this position and will be departing to New York. First, very precisely tell us, during your tenure, what have been significant achievements that impacted positively on bilateral relations between Pakistan and France?
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you for this opportunity. I think, as you rightly described, France is one of those countries in Europe, and I would say globally, which are very important for Pakistan, not least because of the political and economic and defense relationship, very historical ties that we have enjoyed with France over the years. but also because of its regional and global role as a permanent member of the Security Council. So we attach great importance to France, and I would say that because of the similarity of our approach in terms of practicing foreign policy, there are things that you can find in common. For example, France is one of those countries in Europe that is very much attached to strategic autonomy, taking its own decisions, and this is something that we appreciate. We have this commonality in terms of
Exactly.
pursuing positions which are independent and very much attached to our strategic autonomy. So that brings France and Pakistan together. We have a good experience of cooperation at the multilateral fora. When it comes to the bilateral relationship, you would recall that some time back we had reached a somewhat complicated state of affairs and a low point in our relationship. But I'm very happy and I would say satisfied to note that we have been able to revive this relationship. I would say this is firmly on a sound footing at the moment. And I would attribute this to several factors. First, I think a high level engagement that has been there in the last 2 years. You would recall the very important meeting that Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif had with President Macron in New York in September 2022. And then we have not looked back ever since. The signaling has been very positive. This important meeting was followed up by the visit of the Prime Minister to Paris last June. He was invited by the President of France for the new Global Financing Pact Summit. They also had important interaction during that visit. And as you know, just recently, the two leaders met again on the sidelines of COP16 and One Water Summit in Riyadh. So this high-level engagement has been very fruitful, very productive. It has put us back on a very cooperative relationship, I would say. And you would recall that France supported Pakistan very strongly in the wake of the 2022 floods. President Macron was one of those leaders who was attached closely to that process, to the Resilient Pakistan conference that was held in Geneva. He participated online. He announced a very significant package of assistance for reconstruction and rehabilitation, about 360 million euros. And this was something that got the attention of not only the government, but the people of Pakistan, the way France came to Pakistan's assistance in the wake of floods. And then immediately after that, we had the bilateral political consultations that were held in Paris. And a very important outcome of these consultations was the signing of a bilateral roadmap for cooperation. This is a very comprehensive document which covers various areas from political to economic and investment to defense and security to climate and development and to multilateral cooperation, cultural exchanges, education and whatnot. So this is a comprehensive document and the two sides are really very committed to implement. Many things have been done on this front. And I think we'll talk about trade and investment a little bit also, because that is one of the important aspects of this relationship. But this has provided a very important framework under which the two countries are now very eager and willing to work together and to promote our bilateral relationship in various domains.
Ambassador Asim Saab, since you talked about this donors conference in Geneva that was related to the relief and revival of those areas in Pakistan which were severely affected due to the flooding in 2022. So please share your thoughts after pledges which were made in Geneva conference, in which France was, as you said, was one of the main country. Rather, it was the host along with several other organizations like United Nations. So what has been progress in materializing the pledges that were made in donors conference in Geneva?
I think they have followed up. This is a process that is monitored and coordinated by the Economic Affairs Division. The pledges that were made by France, they are mostly implemented through their development agency, which is AFD. And there are different kinds of projects. They were mostly geared at assisting Pakistan in terms of reconstruction and rehabilitation from the point of view of sustainability. So, those are the projects that go in line with sustainable recovery and reconstruction. So, in that perspective, these are important projects, and they are underway in Pakistan.
Asim Iftikhar Sahab, if you look at current Pakistan's economic outlook, Pakistan is making all-out efforts to attract foreign investment. And for that purpose, Special Investment Facilitation Council is also there. Please share light that any interest shown by French companies, French business persons to make investment in Pakistan, and what facilitation has been done by Pakistan's embassy in France to attract more foreign direct investment in Pakistan?
Yeah, I think this is an important facet of the relationship. So, two things, trade and investment. So first on trade, I would like to note that France is an important trading partner of Pakistan. For the first time, we crossed, in terms of bilateral trade, the figure of $2 billion with annual, yes, and with the balance of trade heavily in favor of Pakistan, which is a good thing. And then on the investment side, and in terms of French presence in Pakistan, you would note that most of the big French names are
already operating in Pakistan. Exactly.
Are present in Pakistan, but this number is still not that significant. You can say 40 to 50 important companies are present in Pakistan. We would like this number to go much beyond, and I think there is great potential in that. And our focus is to promote and encourage the small and medium enterprises on both sides to engage and to explore the possibilities of cooperation. In terms of the SIFC areas of focus, that we have agriculture, we have IT, we have renewable energy and mines and minerals. So I can tell you that all of these, especially IT and agriculture and renewable energy, these are areas in which France and the French companies have great experience and expertise. And we think that cooperation in these areas can be mutually beneficial. So we provided briefings on a regular basis to the French side. The Prime Minister again discussed this with the French President recently in the meeting in Riyadh. And the two leaders have agreed that we will organize a business forum, a joint business forum in Paris. and we'll be working towards that. I think that this forum will be an important milestone in synergizing and bringing together all our efforts that we have been deploying in recent times to really showcase the potential for investment in Pakistan and to bring more French companies and businesses to engage in Pakistan.
Any idea when this joint Pakistan-France Business Forum will be taking place in Paris?
Yeah,
Hopefully in 2025, but any month?
Yes. 2025, we will further coordinate on this and agree on dates. This has just been discussed and decided by the two leaders.
So, talking about Pakistan and France bilateral relations, since you said that there are already prominent French companies operating in Pakistan, and Pakistan's trade ties, Pakistan's exports to France are rapidly increasing, and trade is in Pakistan's favor. So, would you like to tell us, since long Pakistan and France have been cooperating in security and defense sector? Pakistan used to be a significant buyer of different French defense products. So, where is at this moment this defense cooperation? Is it still intact, going on?
Yes, I think defense cooperation historically has been an important component of our bilateral relationship. You know that some of the renowned French defense platforms like Mirage planes,
Exactly.
Agosta submarines, and many other
Very popular, exactly part of Pakistan Navy.
Yes, and that relationship is still there and continuing, and we are in direct and constant contact and touch with the relevant authorities in France. We have established mechanisms of dialogue, like the Joint Security Commission and also the staff talks, which bring together the two sides regularly for an exchange on the defense and security and intelligence matters. And this is an ongoing and constant effort to see how we can sustain and maintain this important relationship for the long term.
Ambassador Asim Saab, you have very long experience in our diplomacy. Jammu and Kashmir issue is one of the core issues in our foreign policy. And every year, almost 3 to 4 events are observed in Pakistan, including Jammu and Kashmir Black Day, then 5th February, then there is a new edition that is 5th of August, and that marks the 2019 unilateral action by the India. So my question is specifically, since France is permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, share with our viewers any significant awareness has been made in France, particularly in French government, parliamentarian, in academia, in media, about the Pakistani narrative on Jammu and Kashmir, because there is an Indian narrative that is based on falsehood. India has a story. India has a false story on Jammu and Kashmir. It is the subjugator. It is the occupier. And Pakistan's story is based on principles. So, which side of the story is being heard by the people of France?
Yeah, this is, I think, one of the most important things that we do around the world through our embassies. The projection of the Kashmir cause, and likewise we do it in France. Obviously, there are these special days that are commemorated with the participation of not only the Pakistani and the community and the Kashmiri diaspora, but French people, journalists, media are engaged. We reach out to the universities, the think tanks, giving talks, for example, at universities, interacting with students. We brief, leaving aside these special occasions, we brief the host government at various levels on a constant basis. And I think we have been able quite successfully to convey our point of view, which I believe France, as a permanent member of the Security Council and with the institutional memory that they have of the genesis of and the legal basis of the Kashmir issue, they are well aware that this issue is governed by the relevant UN Security Council resolutions.
True.
And I think we've been able to, to have that kind of a balanced position of France, which we are committed to, continue to build on and reinforce our point of view. When it comes to media and think tanks, I see that there is a good deal of appreciation of our position and understanding of the Kashmir issue. We have really, tried to explain and create awareness about the background, about the legal basis, about the Security Council resolutions, about the issue of self-determination itself, about human rights, and the political and the security dimensions of this dispute. And I see there is a lot of resonance. And if you look at the French media closely, I think despite the strategic relationship that is there between France and India, the media has been quite critical of the policies of the Modi government, particularly
the French media you are referring to.
Yeah,
Exactly.
French media. If you look at it, they've been very critical of the democratic downslide of the issues, and I mean this goes beyond Kashmir. They talk a lot about and have been very critical of the human rights situation in India, the persecution of minorities, Muslims. So I think this is one of the advantages of free media, that they focus on issues irrespective of the kind of relationship that might be there. So I can say that there's a lot of reputational damage that India has incurred in terms of its very negative and repressive policies, not only in Kashmir but inside India as well.
Ambassador Asim Saab, one of the important UN agency, UNESCO, is based in Paris. So share some story regarding cultural cooperation between Pakistan and UNESCO. Pakistan has very rich culture, very rich heritage of different things going back to centuries and centuries. We have Mohenjo-daro, we have Harappa, then we have Taxila, and there are many other such historical places in Pakistan. And UNESCO has been cooperating with Pakistan in the revival of some of the most important places in Pakistan, like certain forts, certain historical monuments. So tell us something about any fresh initiative or move between Pakistan and UNESCO in terms of cultural cooperation between this institution and Pakistan.
Yeah, thank you. I think UNESCO is an important institution. Its mandate is very, very broad, and it cuts across many fields. You have education there, you have
media, culture, exactly.
Science and technology. The discussion about new technologies, including AI and bioethics. So there are these issues which are very important, not least the media. So our relationship with UNESCO has been very strong over the period of years. And as you rightly mentioned, we have several of our heritage sites which are listed as UNESCO World Heritage. We are engaged with UNESCO in the preservation of these sites. There is this cycle of reporting mechanisms to ensure that they're properly managed and maintained. Similarly, there is a new trend in recent years to project the intangible cultural heritage. So at the moment, we have three items which are inscribed. They include Nauroz and falconry and Suri Jagik. But we have recently proposed two new items for inscription. They will be taken up in the upcoming cycles. For example, one is Borindo. This is a musical instrument from Sindh. And another is Narsur, which is a Balochi musical instrument. So we will, undertake this process for their inscription as intangible cultural heritage. And then there is education, which is a major priority and issue for Pakistan. The Prime Minister recently, that he declared an education emergency. So this is an area in which Pakistan and UNESCO have been collaborating. I think there's a lot to do more in terms of policy guidance and other expertise that UNESCO can bring to the assistance of the authorities in Pakistan. We are working on that. But I would, if I look back over these 2 years, it has been really remarkable and exceptional for Pakistan in terms of our participation at UNESCO. I mean, just to recall, I think first thing, which is more recent, which I know that would be of interest to you, this menace, this problem of disinformation and misinformation.
That is important. This is what my question is. Please share your thoughts on this.
So you know that this issue has been taken up by Pakistan in other fora at the UN. We've done that in the General Assembly, in New York, in Human Rights Council. So we thought that at UNESCO there was nothing specific, no specific, resolution and some plan of action to counter disinformation. So we brought this initiative at this recent executive board session, and we got huge support and sponsorship, and our resolution on countering disinformation was adopted with consensus. So I would say this was a big success. And going back a little...
This was when?
This was recently, in October.
In October?
Yes.
UNESCO adopted, if I would like to share with my viewers, UNESCO adopted a Pakistani resolution on countering disinformation, and all member states supported this resolution.
Yes. So more specifically, it was a resolution on countering disinformation for projection and promotion of freedom of expression and access to information. Very important issues. And I would just like to recall, and you would remember that last year Pakistan was re-elected to the executive board with, it was a resounding success. And on top of that, we had a contest, an election for the position of vice chairperson of the executive board for the Asia Pacific region. And you would recall that it was a straight contest between Pakistan and India at that time. And we won this. It was at the executive board through a secret ballot. And we defeated India in that vote by a considerable margin. I would say that this was something that is very rare. You don't often see a Pakistan-India contest at the UN. This was something extraordinary. and we were able to achieve this. I think it demonstrates that Pakistan has its own importance, and it has its group of its circle of friends is there, and we have this capability to demonstrate our commitment to multilateralism and to work together with other member states from all regions for promoting our common objectives. So I think that this was a kind of a landmark for Pakistan, which was achieved at UNESCO at the executive board last year.
Asim Saab, there are a large number of Pakistanis working in France. And just 2 days back, Government of Pakistan officially announced that there is a significant increase in foreign remittances in the month of November 2024. So tell us about Pakistani diaspora, Pakistani community in France, how they're contributing towards both countries, building up definitely their country where they are living and their country of origin. And Pakistani Prime Minister called these overseas Pakistanis as Pakistan's ambassadors because they are working hard and sending money, which is a substantial source of economic strength in Pakistan's treasury as dollar. So your thoughts about Pakistani diaspora, what Pakistan embassy is doing as far as resolving their issues are concerned?
Yeah, I think you rightly pointed out the Pakistani community abroad is, looking after them, taking care of their interests, facilitating them in all possible ways. Continuous effort, I would say, to provide the best possible consular facilities. These are among our major KPIs, and I think our performance is judged by many of these things. Apart from our work on the political and economic and other areas, Pakistani community, the diaspora in France, I would say, is a dynamic community. It's a dynamic community, about 125,000 or so people. Very successful in various walks of life, and as you said, very hardworking. And you see Pakistanis here engaged in various kinds of businesses, trading. You will see a majority of them are engaged in services sector, especially in construction, and leaving aside the remittances, the high figures that you see of remittances from the Gulf countries, the Pakistani community there, France is pretty high in terms of annual remittances. So you can count around about 400 million annually, which is a great contribution. So we keep close contact with the community. We engage with all sections of the community, irrespective of the political affiliation, because I personally think that is very important. And so we have engagement with all. We address their issues. We know that they can contribute a lot towards promoting our common objective of developing bilateral relationship. So many of the prominent people who are engaged in business, they are the ones who are also reaching out together with the embassy to the French entrepreneurs, taking them to Pakistan, and trying to see how we can work together on both sides in terms of enhancing B2B cooperation. So I think they are playing an important role there. And then, other things, cultural activities, educational exchanges, and many other things. One of the key problems, as you know, being faced by Pakistanis, especially in Europe, was the suspension of the PIA flights for quite some time now, and this was a key.
Suspension of.
The PIA flights. The
Okay,
absence
PIA
of,
flight. Yes,
the
please do
absence of
speak on this
direct
important
flights,
thing.
because this was a
Exactly.
major problem for the community, because you end up paying a lot more in terms of cost of travel, and also transit, and especially in emergency
Timing, exactly.
situations, it was problematic. So I know that we have been providing this feedback to the government. The government was very much aware of this issue and this sensitivity. And I think that the good news is there by the European
That the flights
Civil
are
Aviation.
resuming on 10th of January. Exactly.
Yeah, PIA is going to restart its operations, and Paris is the first destination. So I'm very happy, because this is really this is going to address one of the key complaints of the community, and this will also in its own way help our efforts to have more French people visiting Pakistan, because with direct flights it adds to more visits, more tourism, more business exchanges.
Asim Saab, gradually we are moving towards the closure of program. But before we close, please do give some good news to the Pakistani youth. One segment of the youth who is seeking educational opportunities in Europe and France. And second segment of the youth, which is highly skilled, having IT degrees, different type of professional degrees, and they wanted to work in different European markets. For youth which is seeking educational opportunities, and highly skilled youth in Pakistan which is trying to do legal work in Europe, what are the opportunities for Pakistani youth?
Yes, I think, historically, not many students, if you talk in terms of numbers, that mostly students have been going to English speaking, so in the US.
Exactly, Britain,
Australia,
mostly go to Britain.
Others. But there is more awareness now, and one or two reasons. Many French universities and schools, they have started programs in English. This is one. And the other thing is that the younger generation in Pakistan is slightly more aware of the opportunities of good opportunities of higher education in countries of Europe, especially France. And just to note also that this is quite economical as compared to higher education in US. And
cost of education in France with compared to other countries is quite economical.
US, yes. And so there are those who are learning French, and because if you know French already, the opportunities for getting admissions to good schools, it increases automatically. And the other thing is that with the collaboration of the French Embassy and Campus France, which is the equivalent of Higher Education Commission, there has been this effort on part of our French friends to introduce French universities to Pakistan. They have taken delegations, and gradually the number of Pakistani students coming to France for higher education has increased. One other thing which is very good, and I would like to commend my counterpart, the Ambassador of France, Ambassador Gale, in Islamabad, because they have really facilitated, especially the processing of student visas.
For Pakistani students.
Yes. So I think this is one thing that Pakistani students, they know that, the visa processing for student visas is working very well. So this is something that is encouraging. And when you talk of, the specialized skills.
Exactly.
This is something which is important. There are various ways of exploring how people can be integrated in terms of employment. If you are specifically referring to that, that students who come abroad, they have these option of by the time they're completing, to stay and look for jobs, and you see that many of them, they get themselves integrated successfully during that period. So this is one. The other way is to look at the specific areas in which there is a requirement, in any specific country. So if you look at France, they need more IT professionals. So Pakistan has abundant numbers of qualified people. This is an open, kind of market competition. There are many Pakistanis who are engaged in the IT sector in France, but there are other areas like the healthcare and specialized skills like engineering and technicians. And we have proposed to the French side to explore a kind of G2G cooperation mechanism under which we can see how we can fulfill some of these requirements in France by having the trained and skilled individuals, the younger generation coming to France and making that contribution.
Ambassador Asim Sahab, since you are leaving now France for United Nations very shortly, and the year is closing 2024 with so many memories, with so many events, in terms of Pakistan-France relations, where do you see these relations in the year 2025 precisely?
Yes, I think, as I said, we have laid. The foundation is solid. There is, this political level commitment and willingness on both sides to cooperate and to lead this bilateral relationship on its own track, independent of any third country relationships, which is very good. There is this agreement among the leadership that we will work together to further enhance this relationship. There are many avenues in which we will be working together to strengthen this partnership. I think it goes beyond the bilateral avenues. There are many common, areas of interest, like sustainable development, like green growth, like climate change. All of these issues, France attaches great importance, and these are issues that are very important to Pakistan also. So there is a great scope for collaboration on these issues. And as you know that, in terms of multilateral affairs, Pakistan will be joining the Security Council in January. So we'll be there 2 years together with France and other members. I think that also provides us an opportunity to showcase our experience and expertise when it comes to making contribution to the work of the United Nations and the Security Council. And I'm pretty sure that there will be many areas where we will be working together, ranging from the Middle East to many African situations, also other areas like peacekeeping and peace building and counterterrorism. So there's a lot that is on plate. I think that Pakistan-France relationship is on a good track, and we will be able to further solidify and take it forward.
Any particular message if you wish to give to the friends of Pakistan and France bilateral relations. There must be many forums, there must be such groups existing in both in France and Pakistan. Since you are wrapping up, any particular message to the friends of both Pakistan and France?
No, I think one thing that I'm going with this understanding, as I was saying in the beginning, that France is one of those countries in Europe that if you look at its positions, on regional and global issues, you always find that it is somewhat, different, sometimes nuanced. Sometimes they attract a lot of criticism because of
it strongly condemned the Israeli actions in Lebanon and in Syria as well. This is on Middle East. France has been on the forefront.
And other issues also,
on other issues as well.
The initial stages of the Ukraine conflict also. So the basic thing is that this is a country that is very much attached to independent decision making and strategic autonomy. This is something that is well understood and appreciated by Pakistan. And I would say that both France and Pakistan are cognizant of each other's position and role. Our French friends also know that Pakistan is an important country, not only in our region, but also we have a role that goes beyond, especially at the international stage. We are a leading voice of the developing world. We are very influential when it comes to the G77 non-aligned movement, the OIC. So, and then Pakistan has this expertise and the skills to work across blocks, to work across regional groups, and to try to build consensus and forging partnerships. I think this is very important when it comes to addressing global issues, whether inside or outside the UN. And this is something that we need to continue to build on. And that is why I always say that there may be ups and downs in bilateral relationship, but when the historical perspective is there, it is strong, and there are common interests to pursue, and this will to work together and cooperate. I think always we can achieve good results for common benefit.
Thank you so much indeed, Ambassador Asim Iftikhar Ahmed Saab, Pakistan's ambassador to France, for speaking to program Insight in V News English, in which you highlighted various aspects of Pakistan-France relations, and important news that you have shared that PIA would be starting its flights from Karachi, Lahore, and Islamabad, direct flights to Paris from 10th of January. So we hope so that this will also go well for financially reviving of PIA and promotion of tourism in Pakistan, because through this direct flight, we do expect a very large number of Europeans who are keen and desirous of exploring Pakistan. Likewise, Pakistani citizens would be traveling to France and other European countries and exploring Europe. Once again, best of luck to your next diplomatic assignment. And dear viewers, till our next program, goodbye and Allah Hafiz from studios.
Thank you so much.